They don't make a face like they have to run for their job.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Then some words from you, because you have not said anything to the devotees.
I just say the one thing that's coming to my mind about these people from whole world coming here, yes, to Praga. So how I feel it that I just stay here, cooking prasad for them, for Krishna, and distribute for the people from whole world, and
from all over.
Yes,
from all over.
And go out with Harinam and invite people to restaurant and making some festivals here for them. I think it is for me now. And so I'm very happy that you are here, because I feel that you are my family, really family. Nice to see you very soon again. Haribol.
The Harinam seminars.
Yes. And also I thank you very much, BA Paramadvaiti Maharaj, for that he, like father, care about all of us very nicely. And for me, he is a very good example how to love unconditionally and fully surrender to love, spreading the love message to others. So thank you.
Swami made some comments to Prague Yatra, coming all the way from Mexico.
It's my second time here, no? We came last year.
Yeah.
To visit, no? And already I like the place very much, no? Just as you mentioned, no, we also felt like on the Harinam outside was very special. No? People all laughing, people all smiling, no? Quite a nice atmosphere, no? Also, Maharaj is doing the things, you know, everything nice, nicely presented. Books are there and a nice shelf all for the people, so that they, it's not just a vegetarian restaurant, no, but it's a place where they can.
It's really a Govinda like Prabhupada wanted it to have. That was Prabhupada's concept of Govindas. Devotional music, no silly music, books, invitations.
Yeah, it's very inspiring, no? To see all this, and now we will see. I'm sure wonders are waiting, no? You know, after this invitation to their lordships. I think we have to be prepared for any wonders, no?
Also, we want to send a special thanks from here to the devotees in Brno, especially Mahalakshmi and Damodar, because they have donated the deities, no?
Yes.
And wasn't happy that they couldn't come here, but because middle of the week they have another restaurant there, but we want to send them a great hug for their special intervention with sending Radha Gopinath here. Can you tell us a story, Melody, how it happened?
Wow, okay.
Did you ask her for money?
No, no. It was like I went through Roy Bazaar and suddenly I saw right after Roy Bazaar this Krishna standing there. And in the years I'm going to Vrindavan, it never happened to me that some deity caught my attraction. Like, you know, you just go there and you see them, don't pay much attention to them. But I saw this Krishna and it was so beautiful. So I came back to the shop and asked how much. And he said 8,000 rupees for Krishna only. And 8,000 rupees for Radharani. And I really didn't have any money, so I said, okay, oh well, let's forget it. But I was a little bit thinking maybe I will ask some friends, but I don't have this experience because I never asked money from anybody. And just the next day, I met with Mahalakshmi. And we were speaking and she said, oh, I almost forget something. Actually, there are some our friends staying here in your house in Vrindavan, and they just want to give you some donations for the programs you are doing in Prague and stuff. And she gave me 13,000 rupees. It never ever happened to me anything like this, which is almost covering the expenses for buying Radha Krishna. So I just say, Mahalakshmi, you know, actually yesterday I saw one Krishna in Loi Bazaar, and she said, I know exactly which one you mean. It's just new one, he appeared just yesterday, just behind the Loi Bazaar. I said, yes, exactly this one. So we just took a rickshaw, we went there, I took photos, and I ran to Radha Gopinath and where Paramadvaiti Maharaj was just doing a service, cleaning. And I showed him the photo, and I said, I just received donation even to buy them. And he just said, go and get them. So that is the story.
I also had seen them already because I had bought many other deities from the shop.
Yeah.
And then when I saw them, they were also smiling, very beautiful.
Also some devotees from Vrinda Kunj, when we brought them to Vrinda Kunj, so they were, you know, just looking a little bit Krishna's face and they say, oh yes, we have seen them, you know. Like, they were there, I think 1 or 2 days displayed in the shop, and everybody knew about them already because they're ordinary beautiful.
Jai. Praha Bishwara ki
Jai.
Jai.
You stay in the lunch?
breakfast. Yes, we have many things to attend.
Okay.
Yes, Shroti Maharaj, your blessings, please.
I just had a question, practical actually. When we meet people in Berlin who are traveling also, they say maybe go through Prague or we go to see Prague, because many people come to see Prague. Can we tell them they can stay here for maybe, or how would be this? Is there a possibility for, let's say, I don't know, for a couple with kids or for some
Do you mean
devotees?
do you mean devotees?
Yeah, or friends of devotees who feel attracted.
Yes. I put your invitation. I give you invitations.
Possibly give location for about
What is your procedure? Somebody strange comes here you never seen before, and he says, "I want to stay overnight." What is your procedure?
Doesn't matter. It's the individual. If it is devotee,
It's decided on the spot.
uh,
You may say yes, you may say no. I'm talking about people who you don't know, also we don't know. It's another thing if Govinda is sending you a devotee to have some association. Now, I'm talking about sometimes
New one.
the people show up who we don't know anything about.
before sometimes I did it, but for me it was not good experience. So I'm a little bit reversed from this. No, I doesn't. This is ashram. It's for spirit people, and not This is not hotel.
So we just recommend the restaurant first place.
Yes, for a restaurant, and there is
Darshan and
many places for accommodation around.
okay.
Not from them.
Is there youth hostels here?
Hostels?
Youth hostels.
Yeah.
Very cheap, lower than
Že tady jsou.
Huh?
Yes, many around everywhere.
How much do they charge for a young person to sleep?
For room, they want for room something like 40 euro.
it's
Not
already
cheap.
like hotel.
Because this zone is very expensive, but away from the center is less price. It's dependent if they want to travel to center and stay away for cheaper price, or be in a center and pay much more. Everywhere is like the center is more expensive than everything.
There's no $10 places to sleep or for youth hostel or something.
I don't know.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Here in the center, when
Not in the center, they never was in the center. I think there was almost on the outside area.
yes.
A youth hostel means like 20 beds in one room.
Yeah, it was here, I remember, but not in the center.
Yes, it's not center style.
Yeah.
I don't know that kind of accommodation in the center for 20 people. Maybe we make doing something like this in the
Yeah.
center.
Because
Here,
I saw
or
here
they
the
will-
flat free, quite here,
Huh?
on the same level.
Flat free.
In this house, yes.
This is empty house, for example.
Empty house?
A house is empty.
Okay, then
And I think
this
it's
is a hostel.
It's really people. It's
Ah.
very nice.
It's very nice.
We can make accommodation for the people here.
Yes.
And with service.
Prabhupada wanted to have a youth hostel. You heard that?
No.
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Listen.
Okay.
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was sitting with his disciples and they were talking about how to preach in Europe. Because they were just thinking the movement didn't exist yet. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, I have a good idea. We make a youth hostel or a student hostel where the people can stay and then they can come to our temple for the programs and then they do their studies or
So
something.
take prasadam, he said. Oh,
Well, that's next thing. Yeah, and take prasad. And then somebody said, but these people are not vegetarians. They don't eat our food. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, well, for those who are not vegetarians, then we have to bring in the non-veg food for them from outside. And Srila Maharaj was sitting there. He said, Prabhupada, we can't do that. We can't do that. Srila Maharaj objected to his gurus. But then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, yeah, you're right, but we have to do something to preach there. So the whole spirit was not that of loosening or strict. The question was how to reach the people with Krishna's message. That's the spirit of this conversation. So a vegetarian youth hostel whose connection to a temple could quite easily be an undertaking. An undertaking.
So this means these youth hostels I cannot remember one city where it was in the center because it makes not such a nice impress. So the movement, everything, and so many young people are there and they come late in the night and singing and drinking. But to have this hostel for study, for culture, that's a good reason. It's a really good reason. So
Anyhow, that was the idea
yeah,
of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Nobody has really pulled it off. I mean, like in my temples, let's say Quito, Quito is a big temple and it has 40 rooms, so we have extra rooms. So if somebody comes in out of nowhere, who wants to stay there, we put him in a room with a Brahmin, one Brahmin, and the Brahmin is going to start immediately training them up. So it's a Bhakta program. But in some places it's not applicable, because many times these people can be thieves. Thieves is a very common phenomenon in South America. But even in Berlin, thieves came in the temple and stole. Like
in
that.
Czech also. In Czech also.
Yes. So this type of phenomenon, one has to think about the possibility.
So the Prague.
But if you have, for example, if you have a flat under your full charge, and you have a sign in your restaurant which says, sleeping €15, strict vegetarians, only one bed, and you make it like a kind of an austere setting, maybe many people, you can ashram guest house, you can call it, or something. Huh?
Prayak Nivas.
Prayak Nivas. Something like that. It's a potential solution, no? And since there's so many people here, and they will come here, it says they have to eat here. Have to come to class.
And they have to clean.
Cleaning themselves. Mandira Marginado. Yeah. Here.
Here and also in the hostels. So therefore only €15.
Okay.
Of course, I want to express that
Thank
I'm
you.
very thankful for.
Okay.
I want to be very thankful for
I give
the
you invitation
nice
for
Harinam and
restaurant.
the nice prasad and all. Very glad to be.
Shotimaj is a genius designer. He can take any material in the world and turn it into something beautiful. If you put him in a junkyard, then he turns the junkyard into some kind of a artistic paradise.
Yeah. It's good to know.
I mean, the Berlin, Prague is really, we don't know such a thing in South America. Everything's so distant. Swami Maharaj wants to visit another country, so take a 5-hour flight. And it's only 5 hours by public transport. No?
Maybe the train even faster. Or,
Prague, Berlin.
yeah.
Faster, like bus.
Or the train.
Train.
Is there a train? Maybe it's not a train.
Yes, there is.
So international going to
But trains usually more expensive
here.
than a bus.
No, this is really close, and it's also a very good thing, because by car it's comfortable, so you decide, okay, I will go in 1 hour, you jump in the car and you're here. And also what I saw here, I think it's for our ashram in Berlin good to see how nice, how well decorated, how clean an ashram can be, for sure when there are not so many devotees living, but also this, to get this, the remembrance and also the inspiration to and the hope, yes, to have it clean, to take care for everything, for every plant, for every single spoon. This is a nice inspiration, and it's also very important because the feeling increases with the environment.
Yeah, I feel very good.
From Austria also it's 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So
Yes, it's also not the same distance,
in the
I
middle,
think.
no?
Huh?
yeah, it's middle of the half of to Germany, to Berlin.
Yes, it's and also the Wien and the Vienna, they have the same thing with Praha and Prague. With their capitals. Different
And
names.
Sanskrit.
And Wrocław,
Wrocław?
what distance?
3 hours
Wow.
3 hours only.
from Praga. Also,
Really the
similar.
middle of the West Europe.
Yes, center.
Nuremberg,
This is over, you have to go over Wien, over Vienna.
There is no connection.
Not direct.
No, Vienna no need. Passau maybe.
Passau, excuse me, Passau. Naja, then after Passau,
From
I
Passau.
think
Passau.
you go through Vienna.
To
Passau,
Nürnberg, no.
3 hours from
Passau.
I think you can go Bundesstraße. You can
Then it's also 4 hours.
Something like this.
Nuremberg.
From
And
Austria.
the location sounds for a WVA meeting or something like that. No?
very good.
Because it's center from everywhere to everywhere.
here. WVA.
Mhm.
Yes.
For a daily one, not so many people would come, but can be done. Can be done. What about this year's WVA meeting? Not planned.
I think, Gurudev, this was my experience the last time in Berlin, 2 years before. So this, also the arrangement, the invitation, so this was too short. And I think to invite personnel, the persons quite before, long distance before, so then everybody can make his arrangements, and a personal invitation, maybe some personal words for the special person or group. It is helpful. It makes the thing more personal, more warm, and you have the feeling you are really invited as the person or as the group, and not a, how to say,
Yeah, now
official function.
Computer lab.
Now is the time. Now is the good time.
Now for the summer, now is the time to elect who we want to invite. So this was my impression. I felt some personal words and for persons it's helpful. And then maybe 1 month before again a phone call or so. You remember we are now closed and like this.
Yes.
This
It is true.
yes, that we need.
Requires more energy.
Yes,
But even with more energies, the return will not be too surprising. But,
maybe.
but it can be better than before.
Yes, and special I think the more energy from the place or the area where it will be held. So
Yes.
not from so far away. That you feel there are some devotees who like to receive you, who like to welcome you, and
I mean, really, the WBA meeting is something which can be held locally for the local different missions.
yes,
Can be held anytime. Anytime somebody feels inspired to do it, to make or to. Anytime there's an agenda also, there's something up for discussion.
so then
But the European one, we just have combined it with our summer melas practically, because we are somewhere anyway. We have not gone out of our way to go to another mela or another invitation. And that's the same thing with others. Summertime is very busy, everybody has his different functions, vacation time, so that's also one of the reasons not many people come. Because they have to go out of their way to come to join us. Like there's a temple of Bodhain Maharaj in Paris. They would happily come, but if they can, you know, it's a little out of the way. So maybe. I think we could give it a try this year to do it in Budapest, in a meeting in connection with Harijan Maharaj's center and in the Nanda Falfa, the festival. As we are going for the Nanda Falfa festival, there could be there. I know the place is big, it facilitates, and
Okay, Guru, this is a good idea. I think to make it a little bit disconnected from this Mela time.
for us, otherwise.
I mean, for you, for a meeting, because when we spoke about Prague and the distances to other places, also it could be in the springtime. Maybe you're not here, but the leaders or persons who are important in different places can meet and come together to see each other, to learn about, to speak about, to have really some close meeting, And for everybody, it's not so far. In a time when there are not so many other functions. Budapest is more distance. Budapest is a little bit more distance. Okay, for us in the summer Mela, no problem. We should focus
then if you want, Halada, we can leave it up to you with Yati Maharaj, and to make it somewhere in the same summertime, we can plan it in, to make it in Prague. But
also in the summertime.
yeah, well, it's, or you can also do it in another period.
Okay, I mean, in the summertime, okay, on travel, this is always possible for us.
I mean, you can more or less count from my experience that hardly anybody goes out of their way to come to a far distant place, unless they have a very strong motivation or a need to go there to cover, to do something. And right now the agenda is not as such. The best thing and the most important thing of WBA still now is the public relation through the portrait that everybody can present. We are part of something very nice and larger dimension. Or then their local mission. Like for example, small missions usually are very keen to be able to identify with something like this, to also connect with other. Bigger missions are usually not at all eager to participate. But you know, nowadays the only bigger mission existing is really ISKCON. There's no other bigger mission, because the Nine Marches mission now is kind of many missions, and all the other missions are still very small. So in that sense, you know. But I agree, Prague is a very good place to do so. But also, like, yeah, I mean, if people like our brahmacharis, we can be here and we can sleep here with 20 people. But when you have like people coming from ISKCON or from different places, then they, of course, they can go to their temple. No, they don't have to sleep here. They have a nice temple in Prague.
They haven't in Prague enough. They have in some village. A little bit far away from Prague. 10 kilometers from Prague.
Outside.
Outside.
Nice big house.
I don't know, in the forest something they have.
Yeah, but they have many devotees where they can stay, this is not a problem.
Yes.
Sounds very good. Sounds very good. I would still think that it's best to do it in summer. If you want to get any type of dignitary like Vishnu Maharaj or so, if there's any chance for them to come here, it got to be in their time. In the summer there's a chance, maybe. But you know, WEA meetings is like any two people from two different missions who care for the same thing. That's a WEA meeting. Is not like, oh, but got to be the leaders. Got to be people who care, you know, who care and want. Like we once made a WEA meeting with the leaders of Hungary, our mission, and we made a beautiful agreement, but they never kept any one of them up. So it didn't have much of a success, but the attempt was made. The attempt was made. So in this way, it's a WEA is an effort which will go over the next 100, 200 years, will slowly start developing as the generations of Vaishnavas expand and further devotees come up. Now, where shall we take a little breakfast? In the restaurant? Should we go there to a restaurant or?
I think, yes, in a restaurant is possible.
I'm sure some prasadam left from yesterday.